I started a job back on the 8th of August as a bakery assistant at La Nonna Bakery, and after 3 days was expected to know everything at the Ruakaka branch despite my contract saying I had a 90-day trial period. I was fired on the 15th of September. They told Work and Income that I got fired on the 12th of September, so it doesn't make sense. They also told Work and Income that I wasn't fired or terminated, I was laid off or made redundant, so okay. Oh yeah, they would openly gossip and mock me, and if they knew I was expected to do something in a certain time frame, I had a 90-day trial period, and they would openly gossip and mock me if they knew I was expected to do something in a certain time frame that I couldn't do. After 3 days, I had a meltdown and told my boss, Eva in Kaiwaka, how the girls were treating me in Ruakaka, and she said they preferred a more experienced bakery assistant, and that's why they were harassing me. Eva sent in a spy called Nora, which was approachable at first, but after sending messages back and forth, brackets, they'd be on their phones constantly at work, to Navu, the person instigating the bullying, she became more cold and standoffish and would openly gossip about me at the front of the counter while I was working at the back of Jan. Also, after I told Eva about the harassment, Eva told me to make sure to help the girls out at the front of the counter if they were busy, and also help with orders and such. When Eva left, I was told by Jan not to help at all at the front while they were busy because I would get in the way. Brackets, Jan and Navu also didn't teach me how to do coffee orders until a week before I was fired. Also, Jan was doing my performance review. I've also heard Jan, in brackets, the workers aren't exactly quiet when they whisper or complain about me at the front while I'm making sandwiches, say to Navu that the sooner they get me fired, they can get Nora to replace me. Eventually I was told my hours would be cut back because Ilya couldn't afford to have me work my set full-time shifts, and that I needed to get a car as mine broke down on the way to Kaiwaka. I did have a license, but it was just a learner's. Also, here's the thing, they were actually paying me more than I was actually supposed to be getting. What doesn't make sense is I was getting paid like $17 an hour there, and what was it? Yeah, I was working maybe 40 hour weeks, but I was getting paid like $900 a week, so that didn't make sense. And then at Work and Income, they said that like they'd paid me in taxes when they actually didn't, because all of my after-tax pay was a lot less than my before. Like I was on their before tax pay, it was the amount they actually gave me. Yeah, which doesn't make sense as well. 2 or 3 days before I got fired, I received a month's notice by my boss Ilya to look for another job because my performance hadn't improved and because I was nervous around customers. The girls, brackets, the girls would always look on edge when I talked to people in fear that I would speak up about my issues. And I told him that the truth was far from it. I'd worked around customers for 7 years, but he thought I was in denial. Thing is, yeah, I was never nervous around customers the whole time I was like working at that bakery. I was always nervous when the girls would hear me talking to the customers because they just always looked, yeah, I don't know, they were just fucking weird. The last day I worked there, Ilya came to check up and see how I worked for the entire day, and I did the usual routine. Was approachable around customers, did everything professionally, and when I went back to Ruakaka, Eva gave me an immediate termination letter because of health and safety concerns. Which is funny because the day before that, my work broker called them to see how I was doing at my job, and they thought it must have been like legal or something, and they got really, I guess it might have like scared them or whatever. What was it? Oh, and on that day I got fired. My actual work broker was sick, Daphne, and then they had to replace her with another guy. I can't remember what it was. And and when confronted about what they were, when confronted about like what health and safety concerns I breached, was that she said I need to talk to my work broker about them. She also changed my supplement documents for wins as made redundant. He didn't know either, and when working income became suspicious, they called the bakery asking to clarify, and they lied and said I was never given an immediate termination notice. I showed them on my phone the second letter I received, and Wins asked me to forget about it. But they did think it was suspicious. I was also told by the bakery I wasn't very good at working in the food industry, brackets, despite Navu and Jan dropping pies in the morning and eating the meat in the containers with their bare hands, and I learned that disgusting habit from them, unfortunately. Also, they'd check their phones like 5-7 times a day. And then Jan would also she also made me feel guilty about like working there, because she would say like, oh, you know, when Nora and Laura, you know, was working there, they had to learn everything within a week, and she was saying stuff like, oh, when you were there I didn't get a day off for like 2 weeks, even though Monday is a rostered day off. So anyways, oh yeah, they also said I should seek a new line of work. They have cost me a job opportunity at Columbus Cafe, which said they couldn't hire me for legal reasons, even though Eva said that we left on good terms and should check up on me in a month, even though she never did. Oh yeah, and they also cost me another job at Sky City, where Sky City was willing to trade me on a part of the online test I'd failed. I was really pissed off at this, because Sky City is a really huge kind of, I guess, establishment or business in, or like hospitality or like tourism attraction in like New Zealand, so I was super pissed off about that. I guess it's, yeah, in like the North Island. I think I was like applying to be a breakfast waitress, and they really liked me, and then after they got my references from this shonky ass business, they decided to drop me. They had given me a month's wages after they terminated me, and now I would like to report them, especially Navu, for the way they've treated me during my time there. Yeah, I've been meaning to do this video for a long time now. I think, this said it was posted, or like I wrote this like a month ago. But yeah, that's all I want to share. Alright, see you later.